Hello, everybody. I'm coming to you in my natural form. Wednesday's hump day is mask day. This is not the point of the video, but just to let you know what I'm wearing, it's the Bashia black mask. Of course, everybody knows you can get at Sephora. I'm hydrating my hair, so that's why it looks all crazy right now. But you could probably see it's like really oily. That's the Jason coconut oil you can get at Walmart. I don't really like the smell. There's another one that I like better. I'll let you guys know. My previous video for my best friend Jeremy, rest in peace, I explained about moving to Tampa. I just got up and moved. So I want to let you know a few things that I did wrong, and but I learned between the whole experience. I learned. So basically, I was really at a low point in my life, and I wasn't happy with my job. I wasn't happy with my personal life. I had just lost my best friend, and I was just like, didn't want to do this anymore. I didn't want to be in Jersey anymore. I wanted to get away. So I started applying out of state for jobs, which is a good idea, guys. If you're just recently graduated with your bachelor's or even your master's, if you're not finding things here, don't settle. Especially if you don't have kids, or your family is very supportive, which thank God my family and friends were very supportive of my move. I would definitely say, try out of state. Try something new. Trust me, you'll get a good job. I have a very great job. I applied in the end of April, and they told me I had a job in almost the end of May. So I had about $400 in my pocket, and I went with one of my friends to Tampa, and I thought I'd be set to go. I was staying with a family friend. They were gonna help me out. Now, you have to understand, when you're living with family and then you go with somebody that you barely know, you have a lot of guidelines that you have to meet with. So in total, living in Tampa, I lived with 3 roommates and then myself. So the first one was this family friend that I lived with, and everything was fine. But push comes to shove, there's an understanding that I would say, major thing, if you're going to be with somebody, a friend, a family member, lay out the ground rules, because there could be a lot of misunderstandings that can be squared away with just talking about it. So there was a misunderstanding that happened. I was there short amount of time, about a month and a half, and I packed up my bags again, gypsy life, and I moved. So it went from the family friend to finding a roommate. Budget. People say that you should save 3 months of rent. Now, I think that's a good motto. But what happens when that 3 months of rent runs out, right? So make sure you get something that you can afford, because most likely there's going to be a deposit, there's going to be application fees. You want to save room for like things that you have to get for your apartment. So the next thing I did was I went on roomymatch.com, which is like basically Tinder for a roommate, which is pretty cool. It shows like your interests and what they're looking for in a roommate, how much they're willing to charge. I messaged a few people, and again, I'm a very optimistic person. I was like, this is gonna work out, this is gonna be great. So I met with my potential roommate. I didn't meet with anybody else but one, which again can be a mistake. Mind you, I didn't know this person from jump. Like, they don't know me from jump. So like, maybe I should have met with a couple different people, should have settled for the first one. But I was in a jam. I needed somewhere to be. So I rented a room. It wasn't a room. I rented a den. A den is like an office, guys. $600 for a den. I had a sliding door that you bought at Home Depot. Didn't have a lock. A common misconception is, again, what she expected and what she delivered, and what I expected and what we delivered was two different things. We came from two different backgrounds of lifestyle. She was very much a party girl. I do party, as you can see if you guys follow me on Snapchat at AmiHeart or Instagram at AmiHeart. I am a party girl, but I'm much more reserved in the type of partying that I do now. Like, I'm not like blackout drunk. I'm more like, go out, have a few drinks, have a good time, dance, come home, sleep until 2. To each his own, but it's just like when you have a roommate, just keep in mind that you have to deal with, what it comes with, whatever that may be. So, so that situation lasted about, again, 2 months to 3 months. We agreed to disagree on the way we were living. She took up a lot of space in our apartment that we shared. It was a one bedroom, one bathroom, but that den was mine, and it's just like I was in a very small space a lot of the time, so I just felt really cramped, and I was paying $600. So I didn't think it was worth it, so I just packed up again and I left. So I stood with a friend for a while, which I was again grateful for the friends that I had at the time in Tampa. But I was looking for my own place at this point. But again, budget. It was very hard because, I'm by myself. I've created debt at this point since I have moved by myself, and I had no extra money. And like I said, I didn't move with a lot of money in my pocket. So I had a lot of debt accruing. I was paying off monthly bills. My car was starting to break down. So I was like, oh my God, what can I do? So I'm looking for apartments, and my best friend in Tampa was like, hey, my mutual friend and coworker is looking for a roommate as well. So again, I kind of jumped into something that I wasn't really like. Again, I was optimistic. I was like, hey, new person, they have a higher budget. I'm going to have my own room, my own bathroom. Let's do this. Again, guys, I cannot stress it enough. Please know who you're living with, because this third roommate, I would believe it was by far the worst. And we had a huge apartment. It was like a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom. My bathroom was so beautiful. It had like a built-in vanity. It was amazing. And it was right by the airport in Tampa. Literally took an Uber and it was $8 when I came to Jersey. So it was really cool. Had a lot of benefits. And I would say location is a big thing too. If you're looking for an apartment, look for a location that you're interested in. I would say look for schools, look to see if it's near a hospital, if you like to go out like me, see if there's a lot of nightlife or like restaurants around. So I would definitely look into that as well, cuz you want to have a life even though you're living by yourself. You don't want to just stay cooped up at home every day. So I moved in with this person in August of 2016. We signed a 18-month lease. That's another thing. Make sure you're ready and prepared if you're doing a roommate thing to do that long. That's a long time. So I was very excited. At this point, I didn't even have a bed in my first apartment. I had a blow-up mattress that I bought at Walmart, and it was pretty cool. Like, it was like a huge mattress that looked like a real bed, but it wasn't, and it was really uncomfortable. Once you have your own place, it's like so cool, so fun. You're excited. You have a new roommate, and you're ready for this endeavor, and then shit starts hitting the fan. So just to cut my story short, I was happy. I have my own furniture that we bought, and I bought my own bed. I had my new bed, and I was so happy. So my roommate and me were, talking about what should we split, and we went to Walmart and I said, we can just split the household goods down the middle. So I started picking up like, forks and knife sets, things like that. You're going to get that cutlery set. And I'm like, yeah, why not? It's like $12 and it comes with like 40 pieces. For me, I'm like, economic, let's save money. It's just to eat. I would have went with fucking plastic forks. But, be classy, a little classy when people come over or, just to eat normally. We could wash dishes. She responded to me in saying that these were too cheap and they would break her lips open. From that point on, I knew we were going to have a little bit of discrepancies, but I was cool with it. I said, you know what? If you have a type of fork that you want to eat with, that's fine. You can buy the forks. I'll buy, other things. I just kind of let her take the wheel because it kind of like was a situation where I didn't want to butt heads. We had just moved in together and just got the apartment. So, we're living together. Everything's cool. And then, I did it again. I don't know her. She didn't know me. Started to become to a point where she was telling people that she didn't want to live with me anymore, but I didn't know that. I really just, I was happy. I would come home. I worked a lot because I wanted to keep my money up, and, to me, money is very important. So it's something that I don't like to lack. And again, I had a lot of bills. So I was always working. I would go in my room. She came home at 11 p.m. By that time, I was in bed because I had to be at work at 8 a.m. So I was really confused when, one of my friends came up to me and was like, hey, this person doesn't want to live with you anymore. They were spreading lies about me, saying that I was, making it unlivable to live with them when, again, I was just working all the time. I worked a whole bunch of overtime. So, I sat down with my roommate, and again, I had a conversation. We had the conversation about expectations and everything. And I just told her, if you're not, you don't want to do this, it's up to you. You have to break the lease. I'm not going to break the lease because my name, that's my name, So just, again, make sure you really know who you're stepping into, because it's a really big responsibility and it could really screw up a lot. And it was an 18-month lease, and we ended up living together until December of 2016. So August to December, which wasn't ideal. But, I'd rather live, happy, and I'd rather have the other person happy, come home every day and not want to be there. So that was my third roommate. Now, when it came to living alone, I was like, okay, now I can do whatever I want. I will tell you guys, if you can live alone and you can afford it, do it. It is so liberating. You can come home, you can eat what you want, cook when you want, watch what you want, go to sleep when you want, wake up when you want. So it's really cool. When I was in Tampa, it's way different than here. Here in New Jersey, I don't think I could afford a one bedroom right now comfortably. I'm just being honest. I have a car payment, phone bill. I have, my remaining debt. I have my school loans. I have a lot of things that I have to pay for, and that's nobody's problem but my own. But I want to be realistic. So in Tampa, I was able to get a one bedroom that was $700, which was amazing, and I had to pay utilities, of course. But again, I jumped into it because I was rushed. Guys, the biggest thing I would want you to take away from this, if you're looking for a place, really just look. I use Apartment Finder. I've used Zillow, but I have gotten scams off Zillow. And I also tried Craigslist. I'm not a big fan of Craigslist. I also had a bad experience with a job opportunity off Craigslist. So I really love Apartment Finder. And there's also some things when you Google that you can, refine. But refine things that you want to do, like utilities included or washer and dry included. Biggest thing is budget, location. How far is your drive to work? All those things are crucial in looking for, your apartment that you want to live in. But I really just got my own place. I was excited, but the apartment itself was a letdown. I had my own independence. People came to visit me, but it was nothing like I expected. Things were falling apart. I had issues with cleanliness of my neighbors. It was just too much. So what I would suggest is really look into the place that you're looking at. Ask questions. Now I am hopefully getting in my own apartment with my best friend here in New Jersey soon. And I asked so many questions that my best friend and the lady were like dying laughing. But asking questions where you're going to live for a year or a year and a half or 2 years, it's expected. Like, this is somewhere that you're going to rest your head every day. So, again, what I hope you guys take away from this is, main factors: budget. Can you afford it alone? If you can't, who are you living with? Location. And then there's all the other factors that what you feel is important that you should look up. If you guys have any questions about like moving out, I've been told that I'm good at finding apartments because I freaking did it like 5 times. So if you need any help, with apartment wise, I can do that. I also, if you're in the tri-state area, I also have my cousin who is a realtor, and she's like amazing. So if you need help with home buying, I can definitely, refer you to somebody too. But yeah, if you guys have any topics that you want me to talk about, let me know in my comments below. I'll definitely, open up about some things along the way. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.